opportunities, crowdsourced public comments, but all of these things have the problem that if they're self-selected, they can be captured by mobilized groups of people who feel strongly. If they're too small in number and don't really use random sampling, you never really know how representative it is. You don't know what the data represents. And if you just do polling, you have the problems I dealt with at the beginning. So I'm not aware of anything else that actually solves this problem this way. Now, it's a little bit elaborate, but I should say that these towns in China, because the local governments are able to know how to do it, and they can just meet in a local school, and the costs are actually rather minimal once they know what they're doing. They've been replicating it themselves without any help from us since 2005. 2 or 3 years we helped them, and then every year since, they make their budget this way. Or this is a big part of the way they make their budget. And it's spreading around China. So some parts of China are developing countries, some parts are not, as you know. Some parts are really well developed. But it's, so that answers the question, that speaks to the question, is it self-sustaining? Whether this is useful will depend upon whether people think it gives voice to something in the community that wasn't given voice before, and helps guide in the policy choice. So part of our challenge is to come up with choices that may really be worth considering, and some of them may be like that privatization of the pension system. If they tried to push it further, they would have had more trouble, I think, pretty clearly. So you really need to, the discussion we're going to have tomorrow is going to be really important to think, well, if there is this opportunity to do a deliberative poll in these communities, how would the issues, what are the issues that ought to be on the agenda that are worth considering, that might actually be useful to the communities and to policymakers to hear? And that I don't think that's something that can be finished tomorrow, but that's something that can be started tomorrow, to think it through.
Yes, I also just want to put in a few things that when I go to the briefing and maybe part of this, my thinking was that one of the unique things about the deliberation polling where is selecting an opinion after being informed. So Professor gave a good illustration that they did a poll and asked people, what do you think about the
Public Affairs Act,
Public Affairs Act, 1975? And people were there saying it's very good, but it didn't exist. And let me tell you, in reality, that's how the population behaves. They may not want to show that they don't know. Two, even if they don't know, they will always have an opinion somewhere. Let's take an example of the landslides. When landslides occur, the first statement that comes out, people are always asking, why don't we resettle these people? Why do we get the same thing? Why don't we just get them, put them somewhere, and that is all? Now that's how the public opinion of policymakers thinks. That is how it is. And because they will always go for where intuition moves. But if you sit down with these guys and you tell them, okay, if we move you, what are your concerns? What are your concerns? Okay, then you tell them, if we move you but give you this, this and this, do you think it's okay? You see? Or we find out how to facilitate the moving. So that's not about the moving, but the social cultural issues attached to that. Then after that, I do a second vote. It's not that the opinion has to change. I may go back and I say, still, no, we don't want to